Excuse me. It's been brought to my attention that you don't know the leak? Yeah. Check it out. We got the leak from Las Vegas. Let me tell y'all about the leak. 151 rhythm, one heartbeat. Unifying the vibes, wisdom and heart meet at the intersection of innovation and discipline. Let it flow freely while generating dividends. It's all about tone if you're playing with emotion. Soundscape shape your brain waves and mold them. Soul blends with the funk and jazz. Rock and hip hop is the modern blues at last. The freestyle gospel locked you in the house. Always trapped by the techno beat. Just break out, check it. It's like a jungle sometimes inside the disco. Hypnotic sonic pop just like a disco. Bobbing across the country of bossa nova. Dub stepping on dance floors. The world's over. Swing to the afro beat. And riding a new wave of electronic. Just pumping you with the rhythm of the day. The new age classical. And the end to get our past is back time. Like bringing we but with a psychedelic trance in the quiet storm. Rock beats like acid and blasting north. With a vibrant flow. Bounce spicy in the cytochrome. Alkaline rhythms combined with down tempo. Nine to past standards. There is no alternative. Musical fusion is the way that we prefer to live. It lives in you. It lives in me. And here we go. You don't know that it is? It lives in you. It lives in me. Everybody feel that you don't know that it is? It lives in you. It lives in me. Everybody feel that you don't know that it is? It lives in you. It lives in me. Everywhere we go. You don't know that it is? It's universal, underground, commercial, punk, girl, top of the pop. Whether the rehearsal or showtime, don't need a reason around to stop your slime. We body at the drop of a dime. No matter what the genre eventually pops up. For the first time I heard it in my head, it got stuck. When it began, that's all a part of the mystique. Now here's a little girl, make your body call it a leak. In 2014, on the village of Switzerland, the Butterscotch show was over, so we trickled in a little jazz club, checking out the scene. Mental vibes till the band started laying it down. Now right when the vibe really started to beat. Energy was so intense, nobody wanted to speak. A 6-foot French lady gave a cackle of sweet. And when I asked her why, she said, you don't know the Jazz 9-101, a new lesson. Funny how my whole life changed with one question. Demand your attention more than a suggestion. Shake that sound, feel mental, set progression. There you have it, keep the link like a habit. Where the name go, we can't escape the labyrinth. Hard to confuse the spirit of musical madness. The vibration, everybody feeling from the atlas. It lives in you, it lives in me. Everywhere we go, you don't know the lead. It lives in you, it lives in me. Everybody feel that you don't know the lead. It lives in you, it lives in me. Everywhere we go, you don't know the lead. It lives in you, it lives in me. Everybody feel that you don't know the lead.
aim to start. Who did this to me? And you take it, you me, just choose me. Never such a with me. Who to be the beat? Who read the truth was so when the rules of people usually are good, but I feel like it like to you need to try the ball to time. This is what I speak like the other one that is up.
Too marvelous for words. Took a train up the coast to observe. 24 hours a day the world spins. Soon as ours ends, somewhere else it begins. Traveling the light, but my heart feels heavy. Maybe taking a trip will get my soul ready for the summertime when I got a lot on my mind. Close to the ocean is common and divine. Something about motion balances my psychology. Sedentary living and sentimental and melancholy lady on a plane told me don't explain. I recognize your energy, don't need to know your name. Strange fruit hangs high, real souls can't die. Yesterday's crumbs make American pie. Love me or leave me, I'm here to stay. I throw my chest on the roof till I fade away. Billy's Holiday. Billy's Holiday. I didn't know what time it was. That old devil called love slowed me down again and wouldn't budge. That's life, I guess. Hold on and God bless. The child's got his own every day is a test. Back on the road I left what ain't right. And wonder why was I born or what a little moonlight can do to you. Hey yo, my lady sings the blues cause she's still too far away to break through. Them their eyes is all I wanna see. Trapped in our identity, so let's get free. Together baby, won't you please keep me in your dreams. Strong individually but better as a team. Don't worry about me cause I'll be seeing you. I've got love to keep me warm when I'm chilling in my solitude. This here's the Lady Day. I throw my jazz on and groove till I fade away. Billy's Holiday. Billy's Holiday. cause I'm a freak to the masses. That's not enough to stop the mission. Drop your condition and listen to intuition. Fascism isn't any different in classes, so we're living out a nightmare caught in a mental prison and it is a lack wisdom. Tell me when is a victim when so many penny parties result from limited vision. Not a lot of friends cause the goal is larger. This consumer society's only code to discard ya. Could they hate you, so many ungrateful citizens thinking you gotta take the blame too. Down to find some common ground. Emperor is naked, but he's rocking a crown. How dare we point it out for the shadow I cast out? A darker shade of intelligence, a relevant cloud. What we build up, hoping nobody will see the real us. Hide behind a mask of vanity, just to feel love. Waiting in the water of ignorance, but the difference. Some of us only tone it down and attempt to fit in with the madness. Got them twisted, villain, steady plotting. Staying composed, although the food thought is rotten. Health is wealth, not expensive possessions. She prefer persona instead of a true perception. One day the spiritual, magical acts and miracles seem to be ingredients for getting people nearer to you. Seen as a mogul, much you distant for the locals. Every hero has to simplify to be approachable. Minimalism is how I wanna live, a pack rap from the jump. So I got a lot to give, break free from the things that are holding us down. Talk a lot, still silence is my favorite sound. A dichotomy, what bothers me more than all the distraction is the fact that I'm addicted to the chase of my satisfaction. Rarely lasts long in the temporal world, but many lives is like flirting, but never getting a girl. Hopefully you never notice me living this soberly. Wouldn't know most of you if it wasn't for poetry. And I'm alright with that, if finding peace within. I wish you well on your journey until we meet again. It's like two monks chilling by the water. Young lady couldn't make it across, so one of them brought her. Later on the other monk questioned why he did it. When y'all carry baggage, but you can choose to forget it. I was drifting away, watching the clouds roll by, roll by. They got me drifting away, whenever tides roll high, roll high. And I'll be drifting away, watching the clouds roll by, roll by. They got me drifting away whenever tides roll high, high. Drifting away, drifting away. Drifting away, drifting away, yeah. Drifting away, drifting away. Drifting away, drifting away, yeah. I don't wanna talk to nobody to even see them. Solitude for me is like the truest key to freedom. Through a lot of people, but like politics, the reason always finds a way to see, but whenever connections deepen. Tendencies is to be superficial. You can choose the whistle while you work to reverse the system. The cumulative prices level of the paranoia is everywhere. Many playing with toys 24/7 can barely hear the noise. Leading in on my favorite songs and the toddler souls. Don't worry, me happy fan of my own opera. Hurt work every day, still won't see a doctor. Vivid plot, niggas still upon the who the author. The world is filled with a million theories, but feeling every of anything. The fun of my mind, I ain't even seeing clearly as I should. Good to know I got potential to rise of a problem. Real experience is my credentials. I'm drifting away, watching the clouds roll by, roll by. They got me drifting away whenever tides roll high, high. And now I'm drifting away, watching the clouds roll by, roll by. They got me drifting away whenever tides roll high, roll high. Drifting away, drifting away. Drifting away, drifting away. Drifting away, drifting away. Drifting away, drifting away. Excuse me. It's been brought to my attention that you don't know the leak? Yeah. Check it out. We got the leak from Las Vegas. Let me tell y'all about the leak. 151 with the one heartbeat. Unifying the vibes with them in heartbeat. At the intersection of innovation and discipline, let it flow freely while generating dividends. It's all about tone of your plan with emotion. Soundscape shape your brain waves and mold them. Soul blends with the funk and jazz. Rock and hip hop is the modern blues at last. The freestyle gospel locked you in the house. Always trapped by the techno beat. Just break out, check it. It's like a jungle sometimes inside the disco. Hypnotic sonically popping just like a disco. Bobbing across the country of bossa nova. Dub stepping on dance floor. The world over swing to the afro beat. The riding a new wave of electronic. Just pumping you with the color of the day. The new wave's classical. And the end to get our past this back time. Like bringing we chamber with a psychedelic trance and a quiet storm. Rock beats like acid and blasting north. With a vibrant flow, bounce spicy in the cytochrome. Alkaline rhythms combining with down tempo lines and past standards. There is no alternative. Musical fusion is the way that we prefer to live. It lives in you, it lives in me. And here we go. You don't know that it is? It lives in you, it lives in me. Everybody feel that you don't know that it is? It lives in you, it lives in me. Everybody feel that you don't know that it is? It lives in you, it lives in me. Everywhere we go, you don't know that it is? It's universal, underground, commercial, avant-garde, top of the pop. Whether the rehearsal or showtime, don't need a reason around to stop your slime. We buy it at the drop of a dime. No matter what the genre eventually pops up. For the first time I heard it in my head, it got stuck. When it began, that's all a part of the mystique. Now here's a little girl, make your body call it a leak. In 2014, on the trip to Switzerland, the Butterscotch show was over, so we trickled in a little jazz club, checking out the scene. Mental vibes to the band, started laying it down. Now right when the vibe really started to beat, energy was so intense, nobody wanted to speak. A 6-foot French lady gave a cackle of speed. Then when I asked her why, she said, you don't know the Jazz 9-101, a new lesson. Funny how my whole life changed with one question. Demand your attention more than a suggestion. Change our sound, feel methods and progression. There you have it, keep the link like a habit. Word of the but we can't escape the labyrinth. Hard to confuse the spirit of musical madness. The vibration, everybody feeling across the atlas. It lives in you, it lives in me. Everywhere we go, you don't know what it is? It lives in you, it lives in me. Everybody feel that you don't know what it is? It lives in you, it lives in me. Everywhere we go, you don't know what it is? It lives in you, it lives in me. Everybody feel that you don't know what it is? confusion. And a few egos, above zeros. Spiritual materials drawn to more zeros. Like climatic, bands to get spastic. This to see this movement like climatic. Relaxing like Donald Beast. Releases a sour heavy sense. On like Indonesia. Really too easy to wave the mirror down like rock. The sun will cross the road and leave it. Emotional start, so simple, so sex symbols, temporary time to twist, true trembles. Every man, by every page, anybody got that they asking answers. There's notation, devastatingly dope, deliver donations. Keep your classy, it's magazine. You can handle it, another league, that's the team song. Solitude, too marvelous for words. Took a train up the coast to observe. 24 hours a day, the world spins. Soon as our sin, somewhere else it begins. Traveling light, but my heart feels heavy. Maybe taking a trip will get my soul ready for the summertime when I got a lot on my mind. Close to the ocean is common and divine. Something about motion balances my psychology. Sedentary living and sentimental and melancholy lady on a plane told me don't explain. I recognize your energy, don't need to know your name. Strange fruit hangs high, real souls can't die. Yesterday's crumbs make American pie. Love me or leave me, I'm here to stay. I throw my chest on the groove till I fade away. Billy's Holiday. Billy's Holiday. I didn't know what time it was. That old devil called love slowed me down again and wouldn't budge. That's life, I guess. Hold on and God bless. The child's got his own every day is a test. Back on the road, I left what ain't right. And wonder why was I born or what a little moonlight can do to you. Hey, yo, my lady sings the blues cause she's still too far away to break through. Them their eyes is all I wanna see. Trapped in our identity, so let's get free. Together, baby, won't you please keep me in your dreams. Strong individually, but better as a team. Don't worry about me, cause I'll be seeing who I've got. Love to keep me warm when I'm chilling in my solitude. This here's the lady day. I throw my jazz on and groove till I fade away. Billy's Holiday. Billy's Holiday. is naked, but he's rocking the crown. How dare we point it out from the shadow I cast out? A darker shade of intelligence, irrelevant cloud. What we build up, hoping nobody will see the real us. Hide behind a mask of vanity, just to feel love. Waiting in the water of ignorance, but the difference. Some of us only tone it down to the tip to fit with the madness. Got them twisted, villain, steady plotting. Staying composed, although the food without is rotten. Health is wealth, not expensive possessions. She prefer personas instead of a true perception. Mundane, spiritual, magical acts and miracles seem to be ingredients for getting people nearer to you. Seen as a mogul, much too distant for the locals. Every hero has to simplify to be approachable. Minimalism is how I wanna live. A pack rap from the jump, so I got a lot to give. Break free from the things that are holding us down. Talk a lot, still silence is my favorite sound. A dichotomy, what bothers me more than all the distraction is the fact that I'm addicted to the chase of my satisfaction. Rarely lasts long in the temporal world, but many lives is like flirting, but never getting a girl. Hopefully you never notice me living this soberly. Wouldn't know most of you if it wasn't for poetry. And I'm alright with that, if finding the peace within. I wish you well on your journey until we meet again. It's like two monks chilling by the water. Young lady couldn't make it across, so one of them brought her. Later on the other monk questioned why he did it. Y'all carry baggage, but you can choose to forget it. I'll be drifting away, watching the clouds roll by, roll by. They got me drifting away whenever tides roll high, roll high. And I'll be drifting away, watching the clouds roll by, roll by. They got me drifting away whenever tides roll high, high. Drifting away, drifting away. Drifting away, drifting away, yeah. Drifting away, drifting away. Drifting away, drifting away, yeah. I don't wanna talk to nobody to even see them. Solitude for me is like the truest key to freedom. Knew a lot of people, but like politics, reason always finds a way to see, but whenever connections deepen. Since the seasons to be superficial, you can choose to whistle while you work to reverse the system. The cumulative prices level of the paranoia is everywhere. Many playing with toys 24/7 can barely hear the noise. Leading in on my favorite songs and the toddlers always don't worry me happy fan of my own opera. Heard words every day, still won't see a doctor. Vivid plot, thinking still I ponder who the author. The world is filled with a billion theories, and feeling every of anything. I'm finding on my mind, I ain't even seeing clearly as I should. Good to know I got potential to rise of a problem. Real experience in my credentials. I'll be drifting away, watching the clouds roll by, roll by. They got me drifting away whenever tides roll high, high. And I'll be drifting away, watching the clouds roll by, roll by. They got me drifting away whenever tides roll high, roll high. Drifting away, drifting away. Drifting away, drifting away, yeah. Drifting away, drifting away. Drifting away, drifting away.
Excuse me. It's been brought to my attention that you don't know the leak? Yeah.
let it flow freely while generating the dividends. It's all about tone if you're playing with emotion. Soundscape shape your brain waves and mold them. Soul blends with the funk and jazz. Rock and hip hop is the modern blues at last. The freestyle gospel locked you in that house. Don't be trapped by the techno beat. Just break out, check it. It's like a jungle sometimes inside the disco. Hypnotic sonically popping just like a dipso. You bobbing across the country, the bossa nova. Dog stepping on dance floor. The world's over. Swing to the afro beat. And ride a new wave electronic metal is pumping you with the drum and bass. The new age classical. And in the end, I'll pass this ragtime like Ricky. We be jiggle with a psychedelic trance in a quiet storm. Rock beats like acid and blasted doors. With a vibrant flow, bounce spicy in the cytochrome. Alkaline rhythms combining with down tempo, nines and past standards. Living the alternative. Musical fusion is the way that we can learn to live. It lives in you, it lives in me. Yeah, here we go. You don't know that it? It lives in you, it lives in me. Everybody feel it, you don't know that it? It lives in you, it lives in me. Everybody feel it, you don't know that it? It lives in you, it lives in me. Everywhere we go, you don't know that it? It's universal, underground, commercial, avant-garde, top of the pop. Whether rehearsal or showtime, don't need a reason around to stop your slime. We spot it at the drop of a dime. No matter what the genre eventually pops up. For the first time I heard it in my head, it got stuck. When it began, that's all a part of the mystique. Now here's a little story, you'll probably call it a leak. In 2014, on a trip to Switzerland, the Butterscotch show was over, so we dribbled in a little jazz club, checking out the set. Metal vibes to the band, started laying it down. Now right when the line really started to beat, energy was so intense, nobody wanted to speak. A 6-foot French lady gave a cackle of speed. Then when I asked her why, she said, you don't know the Jazz Now 101, a new lesson. Funny how my whole life changed with one question. Demand your attention more than a suggestion. Shaped our sound, feel mental impression. Then you have to kick the lick like a habit. Word of day before we can't escape the labyrinth. Hard to confuse the spirit of musical madness. The vibration, everybody feel it from the atlas. It lives in you, it lives in me. Anywhere we go, you don't know the lead. It lives in you, it lives in me. Everybody feel it, you don't know the lead. It lives in you, it lives in me. Everywhere we go, you don't know the lead. It lives in you, it lives in me. Everybody feel it, you don't know the lead. too marvelous for words. Took a train up the coast to observe. 24 hours a day the world spins. Soon as ours ends, somewhere else it begins. Traveling light, but my heart feels heavy. Maybe taking a trip will get my soul ready for the summertime when I got a lot on my mind. Close to the ocean is common divine. Something about motion balances my psychology. Sedentary living and sentimental and melancholy lady on a plane told me don't explain. I recognize your energy, don't need to know your name. Strange fruit hangs high, real souls can't die. Yesterday's crumbs make American pie. Love me or leave me, I'm here to stay. I throw my jazz on the groove till I fade away. Billy's Holiday. Billy's Holiday. I didn't know what time it was. That old devil called love slowed me down again and wouldn't budge. That's life, I guess. Hold on and God bless. The child's got his own, every day is a test. Back on the road I left what ain't right. And wonder why was I born or what a little moonlight can do to you. Hey yo, my lady sings the blues cause she's still too far away to break through. Them their eyes is all I wanna see. Trapped in our identity, so let's get free. Together baby, won't you please keep me in your dreams. Strong individually, but better as a team. Don't worry about me, cause I be seeing you. I've got love to keep me warm when I'm chilling in my solitude. This here's the Lady Day. I throw my jazz on and groove till I fade away. Billy's Holiday. Billy's Holiday. Emperor is naked, but he's rocking the crown. How dare we point it out for the shadow I cast out? A A darker shade of intelligence, irrelevant cloud. What we build up, hoping nobody will see the real us. Hide behind a mask of vanity, just to feel love. Waiting in the water of ignorance, but the difference. Some of us only tone it down in the attempt to fit in with the madness of Gotham. Twisted villain, steady plotting. Staying composed, although the food for thought is rotten. Health is wealth, not expensive possessions. She prefer personas instead of a true perception. Mundane and spiritual, magical acts and miracles seem to be ingredients for getting people nearer to you. Seen as a mogul, much too distant for the locals. Every hero has to simplify to be approachable. Minimalism is how I wanna live, a pack rap from the jump. So I got a lot to give, break free from the things that are holding us down. Talk a lot, still silence is my favorite sound. A dichotomy, what bothers me more than all the distraction is the fact that I'm addicted to the chase of my satisfaction. Rarely lasts long in the temporal world, but many lives is like flirting but never getting a girl. Hopefully you never notice me living stoically. Wouldn't know most of you if it wasn't for poetry. And I'm alright with that, been finding peace within. I wish you well on your journey until we meet again. It's like two monks chilling by the water. Young lady couldn't make it across, so one of them brought her. Later on the other monk questioned why he did it. We all carry baggage, but you can choose to forget it. I'll be drifting away, watching the clouds roll by, roll by. They got me drifting away whenever tides roll high, roll high. And I'll be drifting away, watching the clouds roll by, roll by. They got me drifting away whenever tides roll high, high. Drifting away, drifting away. Drifting away, drifting away, yeah. Drifting away, drifting away. Drifting away, yeah. I don't wanna talk to nobody or even see them. Solitude for me is like the truest key to freedom. Knew a lot of people, but like politics and treason always finds a way to see, but would never connections deepen. Tis the season to be superficial. You can choose to whistle while you work to reverse the system. The Cuban Missile Crisis level, the paranoia is everywhere. Many playing with toys 24/7 can barely hear the noise. Leave me alone, my favorite song is entitled Souls. Don't worry, be happy, phantom of my own opera. Hurts worse every day, still won't see a doctor. Vivid plot, thinking still upon who the author. The world is filled with a billion theories, but feeling every of anything to find in my mind. I ain't been seeing clearly as I should. Good to know I got potential to rise of a problem. Real experiences, my credentials. I'll be drifting away, watching the clouds roll by, roll by. They got me drifting away whenever tides roll high, high. And I'll be drifting away, watching the clouds roll by, roll by. They got me drifting away whenever tides roll high, roll high. Drifting away, drifting away. Drifting away, drifting away, yeah. Drifting away, drifting away. Drifting away, drifting away.
Excuse me. It's been brought to my attention that you don't know the leak?
Yeah. Check it out. We are the leak It's all about tone if you're playing with emotion. Soundscape shape your brain waves and mold them. Soul blends with the funk and jazz. Rockin' hip hop is the modern blues at last. The freestyle gospel locked you in that house, always trapped by the techno beat. Just break out, check it. It's like a jungle sometimes inside the disco. Hypnotic sonically popping just like a dipso. You robbing across the country, the bossa nova. Dub stepping on dance floor, the world's over. Swing to the afro beat, then ride a new wave electronic metal is pumping you with the drum and bass. The new age classical, and in the end I'll pass this ragtime like Ricky Weedy Jam with a psychedelic trance in a quiet storm. Rock beats like acid and blasted doors with a vibrant flow, bounce spicy in the xylophone. Alkaline rhythms combining with down tempo nines and past standards. There is no alternative. Musical fusion is the way that we prefer to live. It lives in you, it lives in me. Yeah, here we go. You don't know that it? It lives in you, it lives in me. Everybody feel it, you don't know that it? It lives in you, it lives in me. Everybody feel it, you don't know that it? It lives in you, it lives in me. Everywhere we go, you don't know that it? It's universal, underground, commercial, avant-garde, top of the pop. Whether rehearsal or showtime, don't need a reason around to stop the slime. We spot it at the drop of a dime. No matter what the genre eventually pops up. For the first time I heard it in my head, it got stuck. When it began, that's all a part of the mystique. Now here's a little story, you'll probably call it a leak. In 2014, on a trip to Switzerland, the Butterscotch show was over, so we dribbled in a little jazz club, checking out the scene. Metal vibes to the band, started laying it down. Now right when the line really started to beat, energy was so intense, nobody wanted to speak. A 6-foot French lady gave a cackle of speed, and when I asked her why, she said, you don't know the That's not 101, a new lesson. Funny how my whole life changed with one question. Demand your attention more than a suggestion. Shake that sound, feel mental self-impression. Then you have to kick the lick like a habit. Word of day before we can't escape the labyrinth. Hard to confuse the spirit of musical madness. The vibration, everybody feel it from the atlas. It lives in you, it lives in me. Everywhere we go, you don't know the lead. It lives in you, it lives in me. Everybody feel it, you don't know the lead. It lives in you, it lives in me. Everywhere we go, you don't know the lead. It lives in you, it lives in me. Everybody feel it, you don't know the lead.
aim to start. Who did this to me? And you take it, you mean to choose me. Represent us with me. Who would be the beat? Who would the choose? So when the usually I remember that I feel like I get to the you survive with all the sun. This is what we like. The other one that is done.
Solitude, too marvelous for words. Took a train up the coast to observe. 24 hours a day, the world spins. Soon as I sin, somewhere else it begins. Traveling life, but my heart feels heavy. Maybe taking a trip will get my soul ready for the summertime when I got a lot on my mind. Closer to the ocean is calm and divine. Something about motion bounces my psychology. Sedentary living and sentimental and melancholy lady on a plane told me don't explain. I recognize your energy, don't even know your name. Strange fruit hangs high, real souls can't die. Yesterday's crumbs make American pie. Love me or leave me, I'm here to stay. I throw my chest on the cruise till I fade away. Billy's Holiday. Billy's Holiday. I didn't know what time it was. That old devil called love slowed me down again. And when it was, that's life, I guess. Hold on and God bless. The child's got his own, every day it is a test. Back on the road, I left what ain't right. And wonder why was I born, or what a little moonlight can do to you. Hey, yo, my lady sings the blues, cause she's still too far away to break through. Them their eyes is all I wanna see. Trapped in our identity, so let's get free. Together, they won't you please keep me your dreams. Strong individually, but better as a team. Don't worry about me, cause I'll be seeing you. I got love to keep me warm when I'm chilling in my solitude. This here's the lady day. I throw my jazz on and groove till I fade away. Billy's Holiday. Billy's Holiday.
Our brother Rasar Amani, who is the lead MC of the band The Leak. And tonight we're just gonna be here together and to celebrate his life and the art that he put out while he was physically here. And we got some speakers lined up, we got some performances lined up for you guys. And there's a QR code, right?
Hi friends. So there's a QR code where we have postcards over there near the merch table, and then also where you can draw something and create something. You'll see those around, and then in the QR code is a link to the GoFundMe for the family. So if you feel like supporting them there, you can. Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get the night started. We're gonna have a speech from the legendary Ronnie Foster. Ronnie, you still around? Oh, there he goes. Ronnie Foster, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
How y'all doing? Everybody okay? Yeah, the truth is this is a hard one for me on a lot of levels. I was fortunate enough to go up to Sacramento for his memorial there in his hometown. And it was a beautiful, beautiful event. And for those of you who know Rasar, he was the same with everybody. And this sentiment was in everybody's speech. The same line, that he was truth, love, and light. It was an extreme pleasure for me to know him. We found out later that we had some things in common. One day I played basketball 5 days a week, and one day I went to a court, and there was Rasar. I said, I didn't know you played basketball. And then I made the stupid mistake of wanting to guard him. You know. And he shot my eyes out. But I did take him to the hole, put the hook on him one time. Yeah. And he laughed. But it's just hard to put into words how special he was to everybody. But you know, personally, you have your own experience with this, with him. And I just hope that he's in a better place. And I hope he knows that he is loved, really loved. And I do miss him. And I mean, that's all I can really say right now. I just, sure we're all feeling that pain. So, brother, we love you, we miss you. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Next up, we're going to bring a great poet up to the stage, Vogue Robinson, who, when we all were meeting Rasar during this time in the community a few years back, we all met in an open mic at a place called The Human Experience. It was a Human Experience open mic, and at the time it was the Beat Coffee House. And so just wanted to bring up this lovely poet. This is Vogue Robinson.
Appreciate you. Okay. Hi. Everybody say, what's up? All right. We are here. It is both somber, but trying to hold on to the joy of look how many people Rasar brought together, and how Ronnie said, like, all of our memories are so similar. And I'm sure that'll get echoed here tonight. I read a piece at Human Experience, and I was really nervous about it because it took me some years to get it down and written correctly. And Rasar asked me, oh, can I see that? Can I have a copy of it? And I was like, you want to look at my poem? Like, I just spit it. What you want? Like, why? And I handed it to him, and he took it, and he just sat with it and held my work like it was sacred. And hearing how much like love and energy and kindness and joy that he put into his own work, if he held my work that way, it had to be sacred too. So I'm gonna share that piece with y'all. Yeah, that's the plan. Thank y'all. They say we love our sons and raise our daughters. And my brother, he's a more mild-mannered kind of guy. Headphones stay hugging his ears to keep him from losing his mind. They tell him the only way to be remembered is to pick up a ball, sell some dope, call me a bitch, scatter pieces of art across illegal stone canvases, pick up the pen, drop the mic after illuminating what a broken heart sounds like. He slides his emotions over dope beats and rhymes on notebooks and scrap paper, only cries when he can recycle his tears in shot glasses, smokes weed to exhale his anger. He ain't stupid. He knows this world has very little positivity to deposit. He's selective about the extra voices he allows to enter his mind. He is still a piece of serenity that you know better than to fuck with. And if you asked him how many women have tugged at the hem of his heart just to see how the fibers would fray, he'd tell you he stopped counting. Stopped counting on most women to clear his name because of her absent father, and a good man stood side by side in a lineup she wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Stop counting on us to assist him in his attempt to resurrect chivalry. We tell him it ain't Lazarus, he ain't Jesus. Chivalry has the stiletto of a 2-inch black leather heel in the center of its forehead. We did this. Not all of it, but our fingerprints are on the body, so now he just fucks. Because if pussy is power, what else would you do? Where else would you be when everyone expects you to fail, doubts your dreams, and laughs at your attempts to fly? You do what we tell you you're best at, pleasing a woman. Even Mass's wife knew there is no substitute, no battery-operated boyfriend able to bring a woman to the heights that you can. The simplicity of hearing your success while under her dress fuels you to continue on to another day. You know that in her arms, between her legs, is the safest place you could ever be. Something embryonic fetus curled into woman, breathing synced with hers. This is where you are a king. And if all a woman knows of a man is that they'll leave, if there is a way to push, pull, or swallow a man into commitment, then she will offer this body up on dirty bed sheets, freshly spritzed with Febreze, or on satin and rose petals. Bend over and do it doggy style if that's how you want it, because even if she can't see you, at least she'll be able to feel you. Press your flesh into her flesh and attempt to procreate a life better than what we're living. Some men feel like this world cannot hold their greatness, so they scatter themselves amongst many like Johnny Appleseed insanity. Knowing there are women he cannot trust with his heart, but he trusts them with his offspring. He says, independent women got men confused about what they can offer a woman other than that good D. Women will take your time and your money, but won't take your last name. They'll suck your dick, but won't swallow their pride to tell you the truth. In some ways, he was right. I want to start all over. I want to tell old boyfriends I will always love you, but I never wanted to guide you through this. Most days, I don't know where I'm going. I just wanted to hold your hand and walk with you. Men, you are so much more than battering rams. Ladies, we are more than open, moist, and soft orifices. We keep trading bodily fluids and small moments of ecstasy, but they always end too quick because nothing can compensate for love or respect. Thank you.
One more time for Vogue Robinson. Before we continue with the night, I just want to give a special shout out to everybody who helped put this together: Sonia Barcelona, Coco Jenkins, the Nothing to Do team, Sabina, and Sam, the Life Foundation. If you guys want to give them a round of applause, the Fergusons. Thank you guys for helping with tonight. The next person I wanted to bring up to the stage is a good friend, and y'all make some noise for JR Beatbox. Dane, are you around? Oh, here we go.
everybody. You know, I'm not really comfortable usually speaking. I'm always speaking through my beatboxing and my skill. I remember when Rasar first approached me, and he had a very old phone, and he had a notebook, and that's how he kept contact. He asked me if I could be one of his contacts since he just moved out here in Vegas. He wanted to get to know the local community and the hip hop scene. From there, on the back end of everything, he's taught me so much. I remember we've always had a lot of conversations, especially about our families and the back end of who we are as artists and the way we move and the way we think. It was very therapeutic, hour-plus conversations. And on the forefront of everything, he brought me into a world of creativity where he kept me inspired, and even on court, you know, making it an annual thing, well, a weekly thing to get together with the boys and test our physical strength. And with that came the knowledge too. Now, watching Rasar grow within this has been a phenomenal journey, and I miss this man so much because I feel like I have a lot of relationships with a lot of individuals on the back end of the forefront of the face of the entertainment industry. And it was my pleasure to be able to come across this poem and be able to express his words, his voice tonight like this.
Welcome to the circus. Clowns parade in such a nonchalant way, carelessly promoting artificial joy, employed to be decoys, destroy any sense of authenticity. We sadistically scope the tightrope and hope the trapeze walker will fall, because those below always tend to envy the ones who rise above and are able to balance themselves on the thin lines of hope. Did anybody notice the elephant in the corner of our souls, who's been begging for forgiveness as we allow the context of entertainment to take control? Little is explained, just as much as experienced. Delirious audiences gawk in awe, making fake situations where the real ain't taken serious. Measures stretched like the bounds of our imagination. Bears dance for us, expressionlessly and involuntarily demented, as we're presented with the challenge to believe and accept as they deceive or reject what we know to be false. No loss of love as the lion tamer gets owned, pouring copious amounts of blood. Once again the crowd cheers with a sickening glee, because it's all in the name of fame and games, with no aim besides distracting us all. Acrobatic arachnids that sprawl themselves across the web of social dismay. The pain creates an inflated draw. Flaws are highlighted, eyes excited when witnessing the wicked wizardry. Is it the mystery or delivery that breeds a religion? I mean a legion of repeat customers accustomed to the function of this succubus. Bloodthirsty ringleaders easily deplete us of what we needed. If the price is right, you might even watch a quadriplegic pregnant pedophile do something ridiculous with a fetus, but enough of that. We always seem to chuckle at the cat who had the knack to back out of any situation. Now, can you handle that? No. Because once the reality barrier's been broken, you find yourself all too aware of the words that have just been spoken, like, now that's not what I came for. I just want my fun for the whole family, photographs and folklore. Don't forget that sody pop, popcorn, hamburgers, hot dogs, and cotton candy, and a little bit of relish. See, that's exactly what we do to this. It seems as if every human being I'm seeing is a pugilist, fighting ourselves for the sake of fame. Solutions are few and excuses are numerous. We zoom in, confused and consumed by this stupidness. Sitting around amongst a circle of jerks, unabashedly ravaging the ration of limp biscuits, recycling faith and rearranging statements, all for the nookie. It makes me want to break stuff. I hate tough crowds, but I love it that they know what's fake sucks. In this world, you pay your admission, a slave of tradition. Y'all faded and missing the wisdom I slip in. This isn't a Mickey's, quit tripping. It's tricky, I'm leaving this circus. Is y'all coming with me?
We love you, brother.
Man, one more time for J.I. Beatbox, please. Next person I wanted to bring up to the stage is another good friend in the community and one of my best friends. Make some noise for Jessica Manalo. For those still coming in, back here on the tables, we have some cards with a QR code, and the QR code will take you to a link where you can send donations to Rasar's family. Right back here. Phil in the red shirt, right back here. Dan, are you around again, sir?
All right, how's everybody doing? You doing all right? All right. All right, so like JR said, I'm not much of a public speaker myself. I just sing and I do my thing. But Rasar was a very special person in this community, and we all know that. See? And Rasar was a big part of my journey. I met Rasar through Cam. I met Cam through an open mic like 8 years ago at UNLV. And then I met Rasar at another open mic called Human Experience that I think a lot of us were a part of, including Sonia. And we would go to this writer's workshop, I think like every week, and we would write lyrics on one topic or one word in a circle and just critique each other's work and kind of see how each other's mind works. And Rasar's mind, he's super intelligent, and I think everybody that's close to him, they know that. He's very observant, very articulate, he's very smart. And I'm blessed to have known Rasar in my lifetime. He's pushed me so much through his work, and watching him grow with The Leak, you guys are inspiring. You've inspired me as an artist, and many of us here. So with that being said, I'm really happy that I got to see Rasar the day before he passed with my best friends, Cameron and Sonia. And I'm gonna sing a song for Rasar. If you guys wanna join me, feel free. I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. You don't really care for music, do ya? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Your faith is strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof. I'm using my iPad. The beauty and the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to a kitchen chair. She broke your throne and she cut your hair. From your lips she drew the hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Thank you so much. We love you, Rasar. We miss you.
One more time for Jessica Manalo. Next, I want to bring to the stage one of the coolest people I've met in my life. Y'all make some noise for, this is Kip Kelly.
The mind of an artist is one we worship for its struggle and judge for its suffering. Utterly bound by the need for discovery, yet plagued by the awareness that being found leaves him no farther along in his journey in the eyes of the world. The artist must find pleasure in playing a game few have the wits to play, acknowledging he's likely destined to lose before he even sits at the table. The creative life must never be lived with the goal of winning. One must simply find joy and peace in the ability to bring order out of chaos. My name's Kip. I managed the Leak from 2016 to 2018. Like many, I started off as a fan of Jeremy, Nick, Jason, Sean, Rasar, and the unofficial six-member Cam. I continue to be a fan of them each day. They're incredible musicians, but more importantly, they're exemplary humans. I'm proud to know them. During that time and beyond, Rasar and I worked on more shows, performances, projects, and songs than I can count. We spent even more hours catching up in person, by phone, email, and text. Our relationship began as professional, but as anyone here knows, spending time with Rasar is much more than professional. It's personal, and it's always meaningful. He became a friend and a brother. Rasar was an unmatched force of energy and creativity in my life. A loyal sounding board who constantly challenged me to think deeper. He was an intellectual and spiritual giant. He knew everything. He knew everything. But he knew everything, but remained curious in every important way. I loved him very much. I am worse because he's gone. Our first encounter was at House of Blues for an intro business meeting. We talked for hours about everything but business. About halfway through our discussion, Rasar, perpetually cautious of anyone in the business saying they can help, if you've heard walk into my office, he looked at me and said, "How do I know you'll work with us and not against us?" Valid question, and I didn't know the answer. I began to stumble through an attempt, and then I stopped. I looked up and I said, "Rasar, I don't know how to answer that. But what I do know is that you and I have the same number of Grammys." In my frantic search to say something smooth, I landed on honesty. He liked that. I bring that up not to point out how quippy I can be, but to shine light on something very important about Rasar and everyone here today. Randy craved authentic human interaction. He wanted your soul because he gave you his. That was our first authentic and honest human interaction. It was the first of many. See, to be in his circle, and I mean really be in his circle, he needs to see you. Genuinely see you. The rough edges are the bond. He may have been uncomfortable with the spotlight, but he showed you his soul every time he took the stage, and he demanded the same in return. The venues paid well, we made sure of that, but that was his bounty. His true booking fee for giving you everything he had. If you're here today, it's because you knew him on that level and he knew you. That's a badge of honor and something you should be proud of. If he liked you, if he welcomed you, if he accepted you, then I have no further questions. You can join my circle anytime because he's smarter than me. I'm grabbing at happiness and finding a way to share. It's my favorite Rasar lyric. The following is a hit list of some of my happiest Rasar things, and I'd like to grab them and share them with you today. No single conversation lasted less than 67 minutes. I think everybody here can relate. His Pulitzer Prize-deserving YouTube comments. Our shared affinity for the East-West Coast rap war during our formative teenage years. Rapid fire. Orange juice, crowd surfing, cartoons, indubitably. The deep dive we took on the '93 NBA Finals, which featured the Charles Barkley-led Suns and the Michael Jordan-led Bulls. We broke down all 6 games. Text messages to a link of something that just said, "This exists," which meant my brain has conquered this and yours should too. The hours we spent breaking down Kanye's leaked Universal deal after I managed to get a collated copy of it. The 6 or so hours we spent recording the verses to I Am in my bedroom closet out of necessity. It was that long because I sucked, not him. Rasar responses. I'm going to mess this up, and I'm going to try. Right. When I managed to say something semi-intelligent, he would just sit back and say, "Huh." As if you just blew his mind. I knew I didn't because he had probably just finished reading 3 books on the topic, but it made you feel like the smartest person in the world. When I managed to say something not so intelligent, he would say, "That's interesting you would say that because," which meant I'm about to politely correct your punk ass in front of everybody. I'm grabbing at happiness and finding a way to share. Happiness is our most invaluable resource, more than silver, gold, more than oil. It's the one commodity that no one can seem to get enough of. And no matter how much we have, we spend our entire lives looking for it. Some have a rich harvest with extra for a rainy day. Others struggle to grow it, they struggle to receive it, they struggle to even see it. Rasar was a source of happiness to me through his honesty, passion, grit, and spirit. It was hardly brunch and butterflies, that's not the happiness I'm talking about, but the energy was real, and I always left his presence recharged. I was happier when he was around. But while I was infinitely charged by our interactions, Rasar had a finite amount of happiness within himself. Many do. It's not wrong, it's not right, it just is. Maybe you can relate. What he did have, he spent his entire life giving away to others, he tells you in that song, in that lyric. Through conversation, through texts, through songs, through performance, while he was spreading love, peace, and joy, his personal reserves were depleting. He needed that happiness more than me, but he made a conscious decision to give it away as quickly as he found it, because that's who he was. I should have given him more in return. I shouldn't have taken so much. I was selfish, and for that, I'm eternally sorry. We have heard some really cool performances. There's a few more. This is a celebration. They will all deserve your applause because we are here to celebrate the life of Rasar. I'm not one of them. In lieu of applause, I'd ask that as I step away and make my way back to my seat, you'll just spend 30 seconds in silence thinking about one way that Randy made you happy. Maybe it's a very personal moment. Maybe it's a favorite lyric. Maybe it's a favorite song. Maybe it's a favorite show. Or maybe he politely corrected your punk ass in front of everybody. Whatever that moment of happiness is, grab it. And if your reserves aren't depleted, find a way to share it with someone. They might need it more, and he'd do it for you. Take that time now. Rasar forever.
Kip, I love you. One more time for Kip Kelly. Wanted to bring up to the stage next one of the, just a beautiful spirit and such a wonderful poet. You guys give it up for Tree Hill.
Peace, peace. What's up, everybody? Wow, you all look beautiful out there. Hadn't got this angle. Wow. I'm truly at a loss for words, honestly. Like most folks before me who touched the stage, I met Rasar at the Human Experience like 8 years ago. And I want to share something I've learned since his transition, his homegoing. About 7 years ago, about 7 years ago, I used to host this event called Soul Sessions. And I performed this poem, and I remember Rasar being in the audience. And I remember him wanting to discuss the contents of the poem. And I remember, because I was performing and then I had to do something else, and I remember multitasking and like not actually being present with him. And for like 8 years, however long it's been, I thought about that moment. And for some reason, I've always wanted to share clarity with him about that moment. I don't even know if he was thinking about it. He probably like didn't care. I don't know. But what it taught me is don't take for granted the moment that anyone is giving to you, you know? Whether that's communication, whether that's food, whether that's an opportunity, whatever it is. Sometimes we know not every moment is, I use this word loosely, worth the energy or time, but then you know the moments that are. And sometimes being caught up in life and trying, we sort of miss the download or the code. And for any of you who, well, I'm sure all of you listen to his music, or most of you, he was very clear on codes and what this life is all about, what this is doing in this body with this mind, expanding, exploring, and seeing very, very clearly. And because of that moment, I was afraid to tell him that I loved him, that I admired him. I was waiting for the moment to tell him, the perfect moment. And I didn't. And I'm okay with that because I know that with the infinite expansion, or understanding that he had, I don't even know where I'm going with that. Let's go the other way. Let's go a different way. I mostly just want to be vulnerable and tell you something that, like, I will always appreciate Rasar for him teaching me how to be present with people. I would never forget that moment. And since then, every time I saw him, it was beautiful. And I wrote this song maybe 6 years ago. I'm going to perform a song. And I feel he would appreciate the content of this poem or this song, and he would see very clearly. So bliss, blessings, Rasar, dear one, you are loved so much. This is called 315. being intellectual is not proof. It doesn't show, we can barely cope. High off dope, lack of chakra smoke. Check your chart for your horoscope. Known once before, tales of folklore. Sage cleanses without soap. Keep going on and on about so-and-so. Still judgment never helps, and nothing happens when we resist it until our conscience relieves itself. Am I addicted to third dimension reality? It's all I know, I'm here to listen. Dismiss your attention, I'll go party with the jungle foe. I'd rather party with the jungle foe. Party with the jungle foe. But you know, just like we know, flower of life, get it right, we have multiple lives. Infinity, you've gotta remember you live in your heart. Perception is what your interpretation is. I'm afraid if I'm not aware, you'll place my light where my darkness is. Is this a love forbid? I forgot to process steps to forgive. I failed my relationships. No more of that pain due to my consent. I'll take time to heal without forcing it. Communicate your difference in approach to live. You dig? I take back that of which I projected then. I was so confused about sin. I feel it's within and not the opposite. My conditioning has me to believe I am different. I don't have answers. Bless my heart, I'm a born-again optimist. The illusion of race gives birth to yet another activist whose skin dates back to Earth's origins. Judge them not know who they are, African. I love who you are, be, but are you authentic or not? And well, you just let me know when you know. Just like we do. La la. Flower of life, get it right, we have multiple lives. Infinity, you gotta remember you live in your heart. Grace is power, flower child. Some expectations, I suppose. Let Ayurveda move throughout your body. Shrooms instead of Adderall. I dreamt I lived to tell you this. No more secrets. Forgiveness is the option. Will you listen up? All of this feels like God to me. And even Jesus comes to Vegas. Yeah. Even Jesus comes to Vegas. La la. La la. Hey, 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 hey. Thank you.
One more time for Tree Hill. Before we bring up our next performer, we'll need a few minutes to set up. So in this time, if you guys need to just use the bathroom or get a drink or something, we'll need a few minutes to set up for this next performer. And just a reminder again for the folks coming in, back here on the tables, we have a photo table. Rasar, you can write something in his photo book. We also have these cards with a QR code that will take you to a link to help donate some things to his family. And so that'll be on the cards being passed around back here. And we'll be back up just in a few minutes, just short minutes.
Hitting the beer bottle, sleeping on the way home. I'll treat your jacket like a doormat. Order everyone a shot and stick it right on your tab. Most people seem to have a good time, entertained fully when I speak out of line. It's time to travel cause the people here knew Mr. Bad Guy's coming to a city near you. And you can always spot Mr. Bad Guy, too intoxicated and he never really acts right. Tells the world you can hear him on the radio. Just another lie because he's trying to take your lady home. You love to hate him, drunker than a sailor, looking for a fight with his childish behavior. And you can promise yourself that it's the last time you will ever hang around the likes of Mr. Bad Guy. Yo, I need a ride home. Yo, just come on, one more drink.
Coming with the New York, coming with the New York, coming with the New York. We keep it real like jail when we might talk. Coming with the New York, coming with the New York, coming with the New York. We keep it real like jail when we might talk.
Bamboo earrings, NY fitted. Come on, size 5'10", I walk my pits in them.
I woke up with a brand new stride today. Put a smile on my face, don't even talk the same. It's like I walk in the footsteps of my ancestors, connected forever. Things that stress us are real, even with the pain we feel. It's truth that we need, it must be revealed. In time it all comes together, but guess what? Take a breath in the present moment. The next up ain't too far away. The harder we pray, can we get results we want without an active approach? I think not. Caught up in the web we spin. Baby, you could be whatever you want, let's begin. My friends live all across the globe. I hope you know you're still right here, even when we're not close. Hands up high, music moves your soul, not just lose control. I wanna live so free right now. I wanna live so free right now. I wanna live so free. Live so free right now. I wanna live so free right now. I wanna live so free right now. I wanna live so free. Live so free right now. Looking back on my childhood, my life was good. Mama went through a lot, but she made it understood that she was sacrificed so I could be alright. That's a love, a condition on the spot of the plight. At night I went to bed knowing that she had my back. Even when I got mad cause she was kicking the facts. Had to deal with the real and I love her for that. Mama taught me to express myself but have tact. Daddy was a different breed, fulfilled the need to have a father figure near. Though I didn't always see him, was it for better or worse? Don't know but it hurt. I learned a lot about living alone. My growth spurt showed up around the time he came back into my life. Taught me about the old South and the military strife. A world traveler, his laugh filled the room. I wanna see you soon, saying I wanna live so free right now. I wanna live so free right now. I wanna live so free. Live so free right now. I wanna live so free right now. I wanna live so free right now. I wanna live so free. Live so free right now. My words have purpose. My life has value, my words have purpose. My life has value, my words have purpose. Worship Mother Earth as long as I'm on the surface. Some people didn't wake up today. Where they go, I don't know, it all fades away. We're here, let the music blast even in silence. Broadcast thoughts bring peace to violence. We a family whether or not we like it. I believe in ESP, we all psychic. You gotta learn to listen to the signals. Look all around you, life is full of miracles. Inner visions fill me full of wonder. Finding success from somewhat of a blunder. Everybody in the world needs love. I keep my vibes high in the sky up above. Everybody in the world needs love. I keep my vibes high in the sky. I wanna live so free right now. I wanna live so free right now. I wanna live so free. Live so free right now. I wanna live so free right now. I wanna live so free right now. I wanna live so free. Live so free right now. Girl, you were so precious to me. At every moment we would speak, I held it close inside my soul. In front of strong, but I was weak. How could it be? I'm supposed to be a solo revolutionary minded brother. When we locked eyes, I saw infinity. Attracted to your casual manner, waving the banners. Never been my thing. Your lips were the lyrics I love to sing. Your intellect provided such a mellow measure. Clutching each other with pleasure. Treasure the moments when we lay together. What did it take for us to breathe in perfect harmony? Nothing but letting go of our inhibitions and bellowing notes of emotion. If devotion was a completed musical piece, I say our production was a symphony. Yeah, every sighing wind reminds me of a violin. Beautiful beats banging, passionate, clashing the instrument with skin. You played it so well, I complimented you likewise. Tempted to crescendo as we felt the tempo start to rise. I loved you more and more each day. And if I had to let you stay, I couldn't do it, cause I would be truly lying to myself, to you and everyone else. And that ain't never helped me, no. I loved you more and more each day. And if I had to let you stay, I couldn't do it, cause I would be truly lying to myself, to you and everyone else. And that ain't never helped me. Just like every good song, our melody had to end. I try to pretend it wasn't over by humming our memories, but we won't blend again. Just for the record, what we had was so original, real and reciprocal. When I walked off the stage to get it, you wasn't my aim. Came at me impatiently, waiting, basically yanked the arrow out of Cupid's hand. Started shaking me, poison on the tip of your tongue as I slipped gradually into a sedated state, submissive as you savagely ripped out the only other organ that was pumping for you. All you wanted was to see me crumble. Remember the time we laid on the couch and these were pretty much the words that came up out your mouth. You mean you never claimed a relationship? Bouncing out should have been my next move. Instead I just caressed you as one thing led to another. Worked up a sweat and drew another beautiful mural across each other's canvases. Took one another to school, now we at different campuses. I loved you more and more each day. And if I had to let you stay, I couldn't do it, cause I would be truly lying to myself, to you and everyone else. And that ain't never helped me, no. I loved you more and more each day. And if I had to let you stay, I couldn't do it, cause I would be truly lying to myself, to you and everyone else. And that ain't never helped me, no. Since you left, I can see you in every picture, poster, book, and movie. Truly got no clue of what you've been doing to me. Moody, cause I'm missing you like opportunities. Slipping between my fingers, we never did our thing exclusively. Still felt a legit connection, time invested. Now that I spent it funny at the beginning, I wasn't even interested. Finally checked with my advisor, by the time I realized that I liked you, it was too late and I'm saying bye to the door. I loved you more and more each day. And if I had to let you stay, I couldn't do it, cause I would be truly lying to myself, to you and everyone else. And that ain't never helped me, no. I loved you more and more each day. And if I had to let you stay, I couldn't do it, cause I would be truly lying to myself, to you and everyone else. And that ain't never helped me, no.
I loved you more than you could ever know, more than you could ever know. I love you.
I loved you more and more each day. And if I had to let you stay, I couldn't do it, cause I would be truly lying to myself, to you and everyone else. And that ain't never helped me, no. I loved you more and more each day. And if I had to let you stay, I couldn't do it, cause I would be truly lying to myself, to you and everyone else. And that ain't never helped me, no. I loved you. I loved you. I loved you.
Love is such a used and abused and battered term. What we got to know is love and hate are not opposites. They both sitting up on the same frequency, Kenneth. The opposite of both love and hate is indifference. And it's impossible for black folks in America to be indifferent about anything, so you can imagine the kind of agony that's going to put somebody through trying to reconcile.
She wore a shirt to explore the hurt from the loss of a friend at the Dilla concert. Front row didn't know what it meant till she left. Extension of life through those who have breath. Death isn't final, cause just like vinyl, the movement of grooves keeps energy recycled. What a moment, the clothes have meaning. It's almost as if the both of them were seeing the scene, so the tribute was more than a party. Connected a spirit experience out of body. Her garment was art and it went to my heart when I found out the cancer had torn them apart. Celebrate life with music is therapeutic. Life is a gift, so we might as well use it. Left Gail a comment, it had been 3 years. You would have had so much fun, nearly brought me to tears. So we carry on, this life is not long. Guaranteed to leave whether right or wrong. Be here now before your time is gone. We each have the need within to carry on, so we carry on, this life is not long. Guaranteed to leave whether right or wrong. Be here now before your time is gone.
Please make some noise for Coco Jenkins.
Thank you, Cameron. Love you. Once again, my name is Coco Jenkins. And first I'm gonna play a love song. I didn't do it yet, I didn't do it. I really hope you use these songs to send love to anybody you love, Rasar, of course, whoever you came here with, your family, your friends, even people you don't love, send them love too. Thank you, Rasar. We love you, we love you, we love you. Earlier this summer, in June, my mom also made her transition to that next place that we all hope is really beautiful for all of us. And so through that journey, I feel like I learned a couple things that if they resonate with you, I hope they help you in this time of grief. I know a lot of people here are, when they heard the news about Rasar, a lot of us questioned why. Why did Rasar make this transition? Why did this amazing person in light and love in our lives, why did he make this transition? You know, why is it the good ones? And I just offer you this, that right now it kind of doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like with that energy, we should use that to, he's going to this next place, and let's put all our energy towards making sure he gets there safely and soundly, and knowing that we love him, because we do, and it doesn't matter if he's here in this realm or not. Like, we still love him. And however he got there, they tell us heaven is a beautiful place, so I'm grateful that he's going there. And I honestly just think, like, you know, one of his favorite rappers, one of his favorite MCs also passed this year, Zumbi from Zionai. And I really just think Rasar was like, yo, I want to go up there and freestyle with Zumbi, because that's my favorite MC. So, you know, I've done my job here, and now it's time to go rap with that fool. So, you know, that's what I hope he's doing up there with Zumbi. Yeah, I just, you know, we have to turn to prayer right away, or turn to whatever it is that you do to help us all move forward, because that energy is so powerful. And, you know, we know that he's still here with us through his music, through his words, through how he made us all feel. You know, every time he dropped that shout out from the stage, oh, Coco Jenkins, yo. We love hip hop. Me and Rasar, we love hip hop. And I know there's a lot of hip hop heads in the outside building right now. So that was like one of our biggest, greatest connections. So every time I got a shout out from Rasar, I just felt on top of the world. Like, yeah, that's right. That's right, I'm Coco Jenkins. I just walked in the building. Thank you, Rasar. Thank you for acknowledging the God in me, just like you did with everybody that you came across. Thanks. Another thing I would like to share that helped me through processing my grief, through the transition of my mom, and now also the transition of Rasar is, you know, these tears we cry. First, it feels like it's because we're hurting, because we lost someone, but those tears, please think of them as tears of healing, like we're healing ourselves through love and through the memories and through everything that Rasar passed to us. Rasar and I met April of 2014, and I know this because a few days before his departure, he texted me and he said, your Gmail came up as I was saving your new number. Guess I used to take notes on new people I met to keep up with who was who in Vegas. right, JR? Wherever you are, right? Okay. So here's what I said about you as a note to myself when we met April 2014. Hot, dark Filipina that plays bass and loves real hip hop. And then I learned she was down with Pandora, the dancer. Gave me her card, said her group, R&R, is opening for people under the stairs soon. Then it says he tried to call me, but it was my Google phone, so I don't always answer the Google number. It went from that though to like our relationship just grew and grew deeper with more love over the years. Everyone, like a lot of people met Rasar at Human Experience, and Rasar always credited me with bringing him to Human Experience. And he always gave me my flowers, so I will always really appreciate him for that. And he also says, like, that's the reason, Human Experience is the reason he stayed here in Vegas. Just so you all know, if you didn't know, he stayed here because of you, because of us, because he saw the love and community here and the potential for building in a brand new city. One of my favorite times with Rasar was we kind of went on tour together, like not really, but we ended up at South by Southwest in Austin, Texas together. And I was performing with an MC named Olmeca, super dope MC, love him. And we were out there, and I don't know if we ran into Rasar or anyways, we united in South by Southwest. And low-key, he kind of didn't have a spot to stay, so he stayed with us. And he just like rode around with us. We went to different shows. We met like his collective peoples from Sacramento. That was dope. Shouts out to Andrew if you're around or listening or hear this. Shouts out to Butterscotch if you're around and hearing this or listening. And then one of the dopest things I've ever seen that I'll never forget in my life is we were rocking at this queer anarchist bookshop in Austin, Texas. And, the band, we were getting down, da-da-da-da-da. And then Olmeca decides to drop a freestyle and invites Rasar to come up and do his thing. And these are both two, like, monolithic MCs. Like, they have all of the qualities of an MC. So Olmeca spits his 15, and Rasar 16, my bad. Don't tell anyone I said that, 16. Olmeca spits his 16, Rasar spits his 16, and then Olmeca spits 8, and then Rasar spits 8, and then Olmeca spits 4, and then Rasar spits 4, and then they get it down to 2 bars and 2 bars, and then they go back and forth, 1 bar and 1 bar, 1 bar. Oh my gosh, it was like, whoa, that was so dope. And it just goes to show like how much genius that takes to rhyme and rap on the spot and also be dope at it. And I'll never forget that moment with Rasar. I'll also never forget, like everybody else here who received a call from Rasar. If I received a call from Rasar, I was like, do I have 3 hours right now or not? All right, and usually, somehow, his timing was always on point to where I would have 3 hours to talk to Rasar and catch up on our lives and talk about the city and talk about the leak and talk about Spectrum and Cam and Sonia and like just talk about everybody that we loved, that he loved, and how we could all be greater together. I also got to shout out Isaac Sawyer. A few days before we found out he was transitioning, you guys know he wasn't on social media much or wasn't, big on social media. I don't know if anyone else here remembers that he posted in stories, and he posted like a buttload of, where the lines get like teeny, 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 tiny? He posted like that many stories, and it was all posts and pictures with people he loved and memories with those people that he loved. And I don't know if anyone else noticed that, but I noticed that because I was like, this fool is not on social media that much, and look at all this love he's sharing with us right now. And I don't know if that was a sign or anything like that, but I felt his love in that moment, in those Instagram stories, because he doesn't usually take the time to do things like that. But I saw him loving every single one of us and sharing those memories with every single one of us. So I feel like whatever happens, however it happens, I'm pretty sure he knew how much he was loved and how much we loved him and how much we received his love. His legacy lives on through the music, like 110%. Like, I know we're all gonna go home and bump The Leak and bump old Rasar music if you haven't been doing that already. I teach middle school orchestra, and that performance you guys did with the youth orchestra, I show my kids that all the time. To show them, like, yo, if you love hip hop, we could still make it work. We could still make it happen. And also, Rasar never cussed in his rhymes, which is really dope. We both never cussed, or we both never drank, and I always felt like really good with that with him. Once again, thank you, Rasar, for the love, the rhymes, all the shout outs, all the hugs, those big, tall hugs. You know, I could barely reach that fool, so he would come down or he would pick me up. Thank you, Rasar. I have one more piece of music I would like to share with you, and please use this time to, once again, send love, send whatever it is you wanted to share with Rasar that maybe you didn't get a chance to, send that right now. Thank you so much. And if it feels good to you, you can sway side to side. Really feel the music, you could close your eyes. But we're all here together. We're all here together for Rasar's love.
One more time for Coco Jenkins. Next person I want to bring up to the stage is a very powerful MC and one of the coolest guys I've ever met. Y'all give it up for Spectrum.
What's up, everybody? I'm gonna do a song. I can't do much talking. Hopefully, when I rap, I kind of get in the zone. The song's called I Am. He also had a song called I Am. And Yo. It's for you, Rasar. I'm just trying to do my best. I'm just trying to do my best in a world so cold. I can feel the heat in my chest. One love, I'ma do this to my death, yo. If they put a bullet through me before I finish my movie, just know that I love my whole entire cast. If they try to lock me up for all the things I'm coughing up, it's cause I'm so sick and tired of their ass. I'm finna put them on blast, break down the wall, stop chasing cash, no more withdrawals, embracing my flaws, got me feeling like a god, so I looked a little closer and guess what I saw? Roses are red, violets are blue. I don't pick flowers, I water the roots. I got crystals more powerful than missiles and nukes. They better call in the troops, because I'm dropping the truth. I am spectrum, I am infinite in every direction. I am the future and the past, meeting up in the present. It's a gift to be alive in such a powerful shift. Yo, listen a little closer, this some powerful shit. Read between the lines, use your mind, it's a paradigm. Don't you see the signs in the skies as your idols? Dollar signs are rivals, the whole universe inside you. For this earth survival, it's vital, we break the cycle. Forbidden knowledge that college doesn't contain. Bigger picture of fiction that don't fit inside your brain. I'm raising vibrations on this physical plane where I'm doing my thing with my indigo gang. I love you from the yin to the yang. You the star of it all, from the big to the bang. I'm aware of it all, but remain in the game. Cause my aim is to break the dollar bill and make some change. Think outside the box, step outside your circle. Make your own lines, create your own world. I said think outside the box, step outside your circle. Make your own lines, create your own world. I love you so much, Rasar. Thank you so much. I'm gonna let this little skit play from Timothy Leary.
It's my ambition to really liberate the world. Why not? I mean, why settle for anything less? I have a sense of humor about it. I know the odds are against me, but we only have a few years here. Let's try to leave this spaceship a better place. And I think that a society that imprisons its philosophers is playing with very bad magic. We just can't imprison ideas.
Thank you very much. Real quick, Rasar was an absolutely amazing person who always left me speechless with his love for me and my family, and that was like off the back.
And he always someone with his caliber of talent and wisdom and knowledge and awareness of hip hop and just life, for him to always give me so much love and appreciation and speak so highly of me. I didn't even know what to do when he did it. I just looked at him like, I don't even know what the fuck you see right now. I mean, I do, but like, you know, it's when someone like that's just giving you so much love every time. And he's had such a big impact on my love for hip hop. He really kick-started that back up when I met him. He makes me just want to really, like I love rap. I loved rap because of what I could do, you know, with my talents, but he really put into perspective of me going in and doing my research and making me understand why I even can do what I do, because that's how art works. Is nothing is new. It's all inspired by what came before it. And so he's really opened my eyes and taught me to really do research and learn from all the genres and everyone that came before me. And it means everything to me. And we've had a lot of magic on this stage right here. And so it means a lot. Thank you guys for coming out. And you are loved. You are very loved. You are very important. You are everything. You are absolutely everything in the universe. You are completely the universe. And namaste.
One more time for Spectrum. At this moment, we have this a special message from Monica Garcia, who is the founder of the Love Yourself Foundation. And she's currently in Spain, but she wanted to send over a video and a message for tonight and for Rasar.
Hey everybody, my name is Monica Garcia. I'm the founder and director of a nonprofit called the Love Yourself Foundation. And today I wanted to take a moment to share some words to honor our dear friend Rasar Amani, especially since I can't be there in person today. I first met Rasar back in 2015. thanks to my friend Cam Calloway, and I got to see him perform at a show with Cam at the Bunkhouse. And I just remember just being completely fascinated by his talent, and just so taken back by the person that I felt him to be. You know, this is before I even got to really know him. And then after that, I became a huge fan of the Leak, of course. All the shows I could be there, I was always there. And then in 2017, the Leak would become very important to me for a lot of other reasons. In 2016, 2017, I went through the darkest period of my life. I went through severe depression, severe panic attacks, PTSD, and even had suicidal thoughts, went through a near-death experience. So it was a year that pretty much redefined the rest of my life. It made me instill new lifestyle habits, just everything. It was like a fresh start if I wanted to get better, apart from getting the help that I needed and going to therapy and everything else. And then part of that recovery for me was actually just being very intentional with what I consume, not only through my eating habits, but also what I was consuming as far as reading and listening to, and what I was listening to. And the Leak's I Am became like part of my anthem. Every day I would wake up and put on I Am. And especially during the time when I was navigating through suicidal thoughts. And that song helped me to remember that I was much stronger than what I maybe thought at the time. That song helped me to remember that no matter what I was going through, that I was still love, that I was still peace, that I was still joy, and that could never be destroyed. So after that, after I saw how much this song was helping me, I ended up reaching out to Rasar on Facebook, and I told him how much this song was helping me, and that if he ever had a moment, that I would love to talk to him. And sure enough, we ended up talking on the phone soon after that, and we spoke for like 3 hours. And him and I, we had always just seen each other at events, but we had never spoken that long. And in that conversation, our friendship was born. And it was just such a beautiful thing that through the power of Rasar's music, of the Leak's music, that we were able to create a friendship. So the amount of gratitude I have for Rasar and for the whole band, Nick, Jeremy, Jason, Sean, there's no words. I mean, part of the reason I'm alive is thanks to these fine gentlemen. And that's something that I don't know if words can ever sufficiently describe the amount of love and gratitude that I have. And so today, you know, honoring the life of Rasar, it's hard, especially since I would have loved to have spent more memories with him, and you know, he'll never be forgotten. The amount of love and that I felt from him, and I'm sure that so many of us can say the same thing. I just feel so lucky. I feel so lucky that I was one of those people. And just like he helped me, I'm sure there's other people out there that have been impacted just as much. So even though it's extremely painful to have seen our dear friend depart this early in life, I know that he'll always be with us. And I know Rasar wouldn't want any of us to stop trying to make this world a more loving, compassionate, and peaceful place. So let that be the motivation for all of us to keep going, and to know that even though we can't physically see him, that he's still with us, and that his energy will never die, ever. And yeah, so I just want to also share and send my deepest condolences to Rasar's family, to the League, and especially to Rasar's mother and father. And I just want to say thank you for bringing such a warm and loving force into this world, and that this world is truly a better place because he was here with us. So that's all I have to say. I send everybody love to the Vegas community. I send you all so much love. And again, may we all remember that we are love, that we are peace, that we are joy, and that can never be destroyed. Peace.
Again, that was Monica Garcia, the founder of the Love Yourself Foundation. Next up, we wanted to bring to the stage a good friend of Rasar's, Sonia Barcelona.
Rasar mentioned to me in all of the long conversations he had. I was usually there when he spoke with Cam because they were like brothers, and I really enjoyed watching them laugh so hard. I was just so intimidated by him. I didn't say a thing. I was just, I'll take it all in because I'm so afraid of saying something stupid. I'm just gonna not. But he did mention the love languages. There's like a book about love languages. And mine's not really the touch or the word. I think mine involves music, and I'm so thankful that his was his word and his expression. He was so expressive, and the way that he expressed inspired me. He was just so confident. I was like, he would step on the stage and it would just be like a force of nature. And I just truly loved that about him. It inspired me to become a better performer and just be a better person. So this is a song for you, Rasar. Some things will always change, like the news on the TV and the magazines. But one thing that will always remain is my love for you, how it will never sway.
whatever weather, all the highs and lows. You know how life is and how it comes and goes. But one thing that will always remain is my love for you, how it will never sway. When you need me, I'll be there with open arms. When I hate that chord. You need me, I'll be there with an open heart. You need me, I'll be there with open arms. I hadn't played that in so long, and I feel like Rasar, he believed in every single artist, whether they messed up or not. If he saw the truth, if he saw the honesty, he would tell you. And someone believing in you like that, it feels so special. So thank you for believing me, Rasar. I love you.
One more time for Sonia Barcelona. I'm gonna keep mine short. Rasar was more than a friend to me, he was a brother. And I met him at a time in my life where I was just transitioning from a job to being a full-time artist, and my parents didn't like it at all. It was very hard for me to accept, but I had a few close friends, and he was one of them, and he believed in me and saw something in me before I saw something in myself. And I'll love him forever, always and beyond. Rasar, this is for you. I love you too. There are places I remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some have gone and some remain. All these places have their moments. With lovers and friends, I still can recall. Some are dead and some are living. In my life, I love them all. And out of all these friends and lovers,
When I think of love as something new, no, I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them in my life. I love you more. No, I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about you in my life. Well, I loved you more. In my life. Rasar, I love you more.
Thank you. I wanted to bring up to the stage Jason Corpus, Jeremy Klawicki, Nick Schmidt, and Sean Carbone. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Leak.
Thank you. We're gonna play something first. Rasar always really loved when we would improvise on stage. So we're gonna do it again. Thank you.
Am I the meanest? Sure not! Am I the prettiest? Sure not! Am I the baddest, toughest, mofo low down around this town? Sure not! Rasar, the Shogun, and we are.
Man, after 20 plus years in this game, over 5 years as a band, and really just deep bouts of depression and anger and frustration and social injustice. Man, I know y'all went through this last year, so you know what it's about. If this is any source of hope for any of you to be able to clear out whatever's bothering you, use this as an example. Sometimes you have to go through the rain in order to see the sunshine. To my guys, the leak, man, I love you, and I appreciate everybody that's shown us the love and continue to let us know that this wasn't done in vain. So thank you.
We did not hear those samples. Thank you, Jeremy, for fucking us all up. I've prepared some words. Since the news of Rasar's passing, I'm astounded that the world keeps turning, that plants keep growing, and that daily life continues forward. His influence was enormous. The love and happiness he spread was so great that it feels like the entire world needs to pause to reflect on what a massive loss we've all incurred. Of course, we all need to remember to be grateful to have known him personally and to have been in the presence and friendship of such an incredible, inspiring, and loving human being. While I've only known Rasar for the past 6 years, I can't remember what the world was like before I met him, and it's so difficult to accept that there could ever be a world without him. Rasar was so many things: a deep intellectual, a mind-blowing MC, a seeker of higher consciousness, a pacifist, a philosopher, a devout vegan, a goofball, an orange juice connoisseur, an NBA fan, an incredible poet, a proud introvert, a lover of stand-up comedy, and one of my best friends. And above all that, he was unwaveringly genuine. He was never not exactly Rasar. He didn't exist for anyone else, and he would have never have expected anyone to exist for him. Instead, he would lift others around him with his words and energy. He had such an intense passion for teaching and storytelling. In the early days of the Leak, before we had a van, Rasar and I would pair up in my car on every road trip. On these trips, when he wasn't reading or driving insanely fast, I don't know if any of you guys know this, if Rasar had one vice, it was going 90 plus miles an hour on the freeway. I remember I got in the van one time, it was my turn to drive after him, and he had the cruise control still locked in. 93 miles an hour. Cruise control. But on these trips, I would listen to him talk, sometimes for how long? Who wants to guess? Any duration of time you said is absolutely correct. about myriad subjects, anything from hip-hop history to astrology to national banks to conspiracies to theories about the universe to meditation to cute dogs to religion to comedy to the very meaning of our existence and so much more. And he seemed to be an expert on all of these subjects. The man was brilliant, so deep, and still so humble. Because if I happen to have more to say on any given subject, Rasar would listen with a genuinely curious intent to learn. And if it was a subject that he decided he was truly interested in, well, by next week, he would be teaching it to me. He never stopped being curious, and I believe that that is such a beautiful way to live. For the rest of my days, I will continue to be inspired by his desire to learn and understand the world around him. I vow to approach everything I do with a sense of curiosity similar to Rasar's. Like him, I will never change who I am or what I believe for anyone else. I will live genuinely, with integrity, and be as true to myself as he was. Rasar always inspired me to be better, learn as much as I can, and never let my ego get in the way of my own personal growth. For the rest of my life, I will draw from the lessons and memories I have of Rasar as an unending fountain of inspiration and love. A final note. He stayed at my house that last week, and I noticed an undeniable serenity and calmness about him. I have to imagine he remained in that state until the very end. It helps to remind myself that Rasar gave himself so much closure, which is such a rare luxury in this life. He spent his last days performing with the Leak on this exact stage. The next day, he hosted his grassroots show, The Final Say, which he loved dearly, and he was spending time recording, rapping, and hanging out with close friends. I know that if he could handpick his final days on Earth, they would look extremely similar to the last week he actually had. And while it hurts so much for all of us here, it was truly a beautiful ending for him. I love him so much, so I'm willing to suffer for him to have that peace. Thank you for everything, Rasar. I miss you. I love you. I'm so grateful to know you. Thank you.
Hey guys, my name is Jason Corpus. I play keyboards in the Leak. I was Rasar's dedicated hype man, which means I specialized in learning the ends of phrases of his lyrics. It was kind of my duty to, be the guy that was coming out in the crowd, hyping the crowd up, and it was the best thing ever to be sort of Rasar's Robin, like, yeah, guys, that's Rasar, and I'm the trusty sidekick. That's kind of how I always imagined us, like an undeniable sort of rush hour duo. Why is it so funny? Tonight has been a beautiful dedication to somebody who I knew as a bandmate, a best friend, and a brother. He came into my life at such an interesting time. I had just graduated college. I had just played this summer gig all summer long, 6 nights a week. That had just been canceled. I was transitioning to begin working at the Las Vegas Academy. I was just kind of in this weird transitionary phase. And one night, I decided to go to this jam that was being held at, what's that place called? The Artifice. The Artifice, and it was, on the other hand, a bunch of killing cats. I loved going to jam sessions back then, not so much now. And I remember going, and the band was killing, and I saw Rasar. I'd only known about him. I was the last edition of the band. I'd only known about him through the internet, and I was like, oh my God, that's Rasar. I want to be in this hip-hop band. I remember turning to Kelsey and being like, yo, that's him. I gotta go up there, and I gotta go impress him or something. So I go up on stage, and true to form, I blacked out. I don't remember anything that happened on stage. And the next thing I know, he's talking to me, asking me to be in the band, immediately best friends and bonding over hip-hop and other things. Fast forward to our very first gig, which is Life is Beautiful. It couldn't have been any more perfectly planned out. Next gig, Brooklyn Boy, Hiatus Coyote. I'm just like, my head is spinning. My life just, kind of went crazy because I went up there blacked out, and You know, now I'm here playing before Hiatus Coyote. Fast forward another 6 years, we've been coast to coast. We've slept on floors, we've shared beds, we've driven through life-threatening storms. We've played for crowds that seemed infinite. We also have played for crowds that we can count on less than one hand, including the sound man and the bartender. I share the greatest memories and moments of my life with Rasar and my brothers in the league. Playing life is beautiful. Playing orchestra concerts, there's nothing better than that to me. Rasar is the embodiment of passion, but we all knew that. He loved to talk. We all know that. There have been several road trips where it was my turn to drive. I had downloaded my Spotify playlist. I was so ready to just vibe out and jam and be peaceful in the car. And then Rasar starts talking, and I'm like, bro, you're talking over all my favorite parts. But okay, I love to listen to you talk. He loved a good meal. Whenever we used the band fund to buy meals, he would be often the only one to buy all 3 courses of a meal, including dessert, and his favorite cocktail, orange juice, pineapple juice, no ice. He loved to hoop, and it would be a great experience if you were hooping on his team. Against him was a bit of a nightmare. I'd pass the ball immediately if he was defending me. He was absolutely scary to be guarded by, if you can imagine him and his lanky self. And it was almost as if he could, that's so Raven me, read into the future and know everything I was about to do before I started doing it. My absolute favorite thing about Rasar is he would stop any conversation, no matter how serious, no matter if he was talking about conspiracy theories, 9/11, whatever, for 2 things. A good puppy, and there have been some good puppies in here tonight. Good puppy. And a very, very pretty girl. He would give us all this look. And I love that. In our upcoming album, the last thing we worked on before he transitioned, he's been telling his story a lot, and it inspired me that I needed to maybe speak up and tell my story. He always encouraged me to rap ever since that first Nujabes show in 2017, and now I finally had the guts to tell my story. One of the last conversations me and Rasar had were about some lyrics I wrote. I went through a really hard year last year, and he found every single layer that I put in there, everything. He dissected it, he came at me with it, and one of the last things he said to me was that his favorite line was one of my lyrics on the entire album. And that meant the world to me because he's a fucking genius. I mean, what? It humbled me. And the lyrics, and I think everybody should say this every day, is, I am worthy, I am deserving, and I will let go of everything that doesn't serve me. His words were so powerful. As his dedicated hype man in the league, I had the honor of learning his lyrics until they became a part of me. His life has value. His words have purpose. He is love, peace, and joy. And now he transcends all of us, stepping between spirit and matter. I wish you well on your journey until we meet again. I hope you have found your peace, Rasar. I love you.
The last time I spoke to Rasar, Sunday before he passed, he called me while I was on the way to the grocery store. He was clearly in pain. He was in a state of distress. He was either just on the verge of crying or he had just finished and his voice was breaking. And he was talking to me about lyrics that, old league lyrics that he was worried people might have misunderstood, that they were misinterpreting some lyrics that maybe he was worried that I might personally have taken offense to, and he needed to explain himself. And I know now why it was so important for him to be understood. But at the time, I had no idea. Still, it was obvious that something was really wrong with him. And so I just decided to be there with him. I sat there in the grocery store parking lot, and we talked on the phone for an hour, which was a remarkably short conversation for Rasar. And we just talked about a lot of things, and it was lovely. Things weren't always like that between the two of us. When I first met Rasar, when we first started the band, I was kind of uncomfortable around him because I just didn't really know how to talk to him. He and I could not possibly have been more different from each other. He was 10 years my senior. We were different races. We grew up on opposite sides of the country. We didn't have any shared experiences, except for the one thing that we did share, which was music. And so, back in the early days of the band, whenever we would be hanging out before a show or after a rehearsal or in the car driving somewhere out of town, he could talk to the other guys about basketball, which I know nothing about, or the Chappelle Show, which at that point I had not seen a single episode of, which is embarrassing to admit. And I felt like an outsider a lot of the time in those early days. But inevitably, invariably, like clockwork, at some point, conversation would stop, Rasar would turn to me, and he would just ask me some random question about music, like, oh, hey Jeremy, have you listened to Jazzmatazz yet? Or, hey Jeremy, what do you think of the new Mac Miller record? Or just, hey Jeremy, what have you been listening to? And me being the self-involved 20-year-old I was, I kind of felt like he was taking pity on me. It almost felt like he was speaking to me out of obligation. Just like, oh, I got to talk to this guy, I don't know what to talk about. Music. But I have learned that Rasar is not the kind of person to talk to anyone out of obligation. If he does not want to talk to you, he will never speak to you. You won't even see him leave the stage. It'll be halfway through the last song, and it'll be goodbye, never saw him go, never see you again. But if he decides he does want to talk to you, if he identifies you as someone he respects, someone he cares about, one of his people, he will relentlessly and tirelessly pursue the most genuine human connection you could possibly hope to have with someone. All he ever wanted was to talk to people about the things that mattered to them and about the things that mattered to him. And so eventually, I got over myself very quickly, and I started to really enjoy our conversations about music. Every time a major release would drop, he would reach out to me, or I would reach out to him, and we'd just be like, hey, have you heard the new Busta Rhymes record? Or what do you think of the new Blue in Exile project? How does it compare to Below the Heavens? And then from there, we would start sharing other things. We started talking about movies, about book recommendations, stand-up comedy. I finally watched The Chappelle Show. And then in the last couple of years, especially after he moved away, he and I just sort of dropped all of the pretense and would just call each other just to talk, just to see how the other person was doing. He became one of my closest, truest, dearest, best friends. And it's hard to believe that he's gone. But throughout all of that, music was still essential to his and my relationship right up until the end. The last time I spoke to Rasar, Sunday before he passed, after he explained everything he needed to get off his chest about the lyrics that he was worried weren't going to be understood, after we talked about the album that we had just spent the entire year working on, how excited we were about it, and all the things that we had to look forward to, we basically finished our last conversation debating who the greatest rapper of all time was. And I'm not going to tell you guys who he picked because I don't want to start shit at his memorial. I'm not trying to speak ill of the dead. I will always be grateful to Rasar for reaching out to me, for not giving up on me, for identifying me as someone he believed was worth talking to. I'll always be grateful to him for speaking with me, for listening to me, for trusting me, for confiding in me. And I'm gonna really miss talking to him. Because I really feel like if I could talk to him one more time, I could convince him that Black Thought is the greatest rapper of all time. It has been the privilege of a lifetime to make art with him, to be his chosen family, to just exist on the same planet as him. And I think I speak for all of us when I say that we will always love him, we will always be grateful for the time that we've had, and we'll continue to just try and do right by him and make every connection deep and genuine and just be open to everything.
I just wanted to say something brief. Rasar, I love you so much. I remember falling asleep on tour with these guys. You know, we did so much together. We basically toured every city in California, every city on the whole West Coast, basically, and went across the country together. We've done so much as a band. And I remember falling asleep all the time, just thinking like, wow, I'm so lucky that I'm getting to play music and have like music with a message, and I'm in a new audience all the time and playing with amazing musicians, and I get to learn from the most amazing people ever. It was just always great. But every time I talked to Rasar, I always just felt great. I always left with more than what I had, and he had so much experience and knowledge to share in so many different subjects, from way out of music, you know, music to history to English, literally anything you can think of, and he was like basically an expert on it, and if not, he was always willing to hear more. Rasar really cared about everyone in his life. His love is still here, his messages are still here, and there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about Rasar. I'm glad you're not in pain anymore. It hurts me knowing that you were going through so much. I love you, Rasar, and we're going to make you proud. And now we're going to bring up Ronnie Foster somewhere. Oh, there he is. And we're going to play a song for you.
One last thing. Rasar is, I know he would be so honored to have this man, Ronnie, on stage, and having Cam and Sonia and Coco and Spectrum and everybody else speak and perform. But we all lose to that tiny little dog that walked on stage during Coco's set. I don't know if you saw. I'm not good at impressions, and I'm certainly not good at Rasar impressions, but if he saw that dog, this is exactly what he would have done. Oh, little dog. He loved little dogs. And he also loved this song that Ronnie Foster wrote, what was it, 100 years ago? 100? I'll hear about that one after this. I think this is the last, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the last thing we're going to do tonight. Hassan is going to come up and rap with us. And we did this at our last show. Yeah, give it up for Hassan. We did this song at our last show, and it meant so much to Rasar, especially because we had Ronnie on stage with us. So we're going to do it again. And feel free to smile and enjoy this and enjoy all the memories you had of Rasar. Thank you so much. Just kidding. Ronnie would like to say something.
No, I just want to say that this song, I've been blessed by this song, but this song will always be a great honor for me because it was the last musical moment that I shared with Rasar. Okay, thank you.
Whenever you're ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ronnie Foster. Relax yourself, girl, please settle down. 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 Honey, check me out, you got me mesmerized with your long legs and your fat ass thighs. Street poetry is my everyday, but yo, I gotta stop when you trap my way. If I was working at the club, you would not pay. Yo, my man Fife Biggie, he got something to say. I like a brown, yellow, Puerto Rican, and Haitian. Name is Fife Dog from the Zulu Nation. Told you in the jam that we can get down. So let's knock the boots like the group H-Town. You got BBD all on your bedroom wall, but I'm above the rim and this is how I ball. A gritty little something on the New York streets. This is how I represent over this here beat. Talking about you, yo, I took you out. But sex was on my mind through the whole damn route. My mind was in a frenzy in a horny state, but I couldn't drop dimes cause you couldn't relate. Relax yourself, girl, please settle down. Relax yourself, girl, please settle down. Relax yourself, girl, please settle. You couldn't relate. Yeah, you couldn't relate. Fellas, I'ma get back into this, yo. Stretch out your legs, let me make you ball. Drive you insane, drive you up the wall. Staring at your dome piece, very strong. Stronger than pride, stronger than Teflon. Take you on the Ave, then you buy me links. Now I want a pound of Poo-Tang till it stinks. You could be the mama and I'll be your boy. Original rude boy, who me not coy. You could be the shorty and my ill convoy. Not to come across as a thug or a hood. But hun, you got the goods, like Madeline Wood. By the way, my name's Malik, the 5-foot freak. They say we get together by the end of the week. She simply said no, label me a hoe. I said, how you figure? My friends tell me so. Tired with groupies wanna run they yap. Word to God, hun, I don't get down like that. I have you weak in the knees and you can hardly speak. Or we could do like Uncle Ellen's when you up in my G. Keep it on the down low, we keep it discreet. See, I'm not the type of kid that have my business in the street. If my mom's doing a proof, then I'll just elope. Let me hit the little man from inside the boat. Let me hit it from the back, girl, won't catch a hernia. Bust off on your couch, now you got Siemens furniture. Shaheed fight for the extra P. I got my homies back here to lead. You know the abstract's really so on ice. Characters of men, never ever of mice. Homie, let me know you about my only vice. Rest in peace, Rasar, yo, it ain't nothing nice. Relax yourself, girl, please settle down. 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 Now, yo, give it up to Ronnie Foster, man. And give it up for my brother Sean and my brother Nick, my man Jeremy, and of course, you know, Jason's in the motherfucking house, man. And you know what I'm saying? May my brother Rasar be remembered in perfection, man. We were on this stage, man, field trip, you know what I'm saying, man? Before, you know what I'm saying, he transitioned. May my brother be remembered in perfection, man. You know what I'm saying, man? He left such an impact, and I'm part of that impact. I remember that do that human experience, man. I paid my dues and stuff, and dudes doing this thing, the leak and everybody, man. We were talking that night, man, like this was years in the making, you know? And we did that, and I'm forever thankful. I love him. I love these gentlemen right here. And I love every last one of you motherfuckers here tonight. Word up. Real shit, man. Give niggas they flowers while you can still smell them. You know what I'm saying, man? My name is Hassan, a.k.a. Fat Black and Awesome. Represent downtown Vegas, man. And I'm with the Leak. And I'm with Mr. Ronnie Foster, man. Peace out to Sonia, to Cameron, to Jessica, to Coco, to everybody who's came out tonight. You know what I'm saying, man? And for yourselves, man, for Rasar, let me hear it one more goddamn time. Peace, God. Love you, Rasar. We love you, Rasar. No matter where you are, we love you, Rasar. You were so unique, band leader of the League, and all those special things. That's why for the words I sang, and I almost forgot. Shout out to JR Beatbox. You did that tonight, and I say good night to everybody at Fergusons. You got love, show somebody some. Thank you, my name's Hassan, good night. And I'm gonna let the Leak and Ronnie Foster take over.
One more time for the League, Ronnie Foster and Hassan Hamilton. I wanted to thank all the performers and speakers tonight. Thank you guys again for sharing this with all of us. And one more shout out to Sabina, Sam, the Life Foundation, Sonia Barcelona, and JR. Where you at, JR? JR is streaming this on online and helping out with putting everything up. Everybody who contributed tonight to helping out, thank you so much. Fergusons, thank you guys so much. We wanted to leave off. We have one more thing we wanted to leave off. Rasar, we love you. And we wanted to show something to share with you guys. So, yeah. I don't know what else to say. I'm just, it's what a beautiful night.
I can show you the proof. No need for a plan, please.
So actually, we have a video of Rasar, if you are interested in watching that. I had a thing called Sonia Asks, where I would just interview random people about what they love, and I got the chance to interview Rasar and talk about his songs. So I have a clip here. It's about 15 minutes. So if you want to watch that, we'll be pulling that up very shortly. And it talks about why he stayed in Vegas, and he explains his song, I Am. So we'll just be pulling that up shortly. If you.
None of it changed just because the president's black. Fuck.
Okay.
Question.
So where are you from?
I thought you needed to know my name. Yeah.
Drum drum. Where you from?
Yeah.
What the name is?
Yeah. Alright. My name is Rasar. I'm from Sacramento, California. I'm an MC, poet, thinker.
And what brought you to Las Vegas?
I came to Las Vegas due to a dear friend of mine, Butterscotch, amazing talent that she is. And we came out here. She was a part of a show called Vegas Nocturne at Rose Rabbit Lie inside the Cosmopolitan. And she got me a gig. I started out as an usher, and my job was literally to pick up popcorn and mop up bathwater off the floor and wear ugly yellow suits and stuff. And you know, made me wonder what I was doing, make sure it was the right thing, but it was based on the potential promise that all of us, they brought in all the ushers, most of them were talented, you had magicians and dancers and all these other people. So, I guess basically, I came here for the dream, you know, to expand my music career ultimately, and Butterscotch had never led me astray before. She's the reason I ever got out of the country, you know, and she's the reason why I've gotten to travel so many places and put that in me, you know. And so it was a great kickstart, and then things happened, and I ended up with a job that didn't exist. I ended up being the nightlife MC, which they were not looking for. They weren't thinking about it.
And it was one of the greatest times of my entire life. I met so many amazing people from around the world, thousands of people, like just weekly. And that was more money than I had ever made before, so that meant a lot to have that level of independence and security. And I started traveling without thinking about it, you know, on my own time, and bought a bunch of books. So it's all tied in though, you know what I mean? Like that's this, you know, I'm only there for a few hours, but like that's kind of what made it alluring. So I came here for that, and then that show ended, and I didn't know why I was still here after that.
So what kept you here?
Kept me here ultimately is the leak. The leak is so special to me, you know? Probably the most important thing that's happened to me. Like straight up, like aside from anything, you know, directly involving my parents, and it gets that serious to me. I think I was on the way out with Butterscotch. We were gonna move to LA or New York, and you know, I learned a long time ago I can't keep up with her, you know, but you know, when we meet up when we can. So ultimately she didn't do either, and as far as I remember, and I wasn't sure what was going on, and you know, she moves her own, and then she just moved and she just did her thing, and I didn't have nothing, and I was like, man, I don't know. And I was about to leave and follow, because she, like I said, she never led me astray. And then, because I was on the open mic scene, you know, Cameron Calloway, Sonia Sealinger, you know, guess I shouldn't say that. Sonia Barcelona, you know, Jessica Manalo, Coco Jenkins being an important reason why I stayed back on the open mic scene. So while I was doing the Usher, eventually MC thing, I was on the Strip, and you know, I wasn't really aware of. I was aware of, you know, I went to the Human Experience open mic, and I decided, honestly, the person that made me want to go back was Cameron Calloway, and then I was only like hoping I could like find whoever that dude is, and then, but I was like, I had a bunch of other stuff going on, I was traveling, I had my own career. And then I met Coco in the club, Coco Jenkins, the Oracle of Las Vegas music. And she was like, you should like come into the scene, like there's a whole scene here, like we got hella stuff, like hecka stuff out here, and like you should come downtown. Have you ever gone to the open mics? Coco. And so I trusted her, and I went to the open mic, and we went there, and I was like, oh, she's like this goddess. Like, she walks in and was like, oh, go, everybody loves her. I was like, damn. So then I came in with this new energy, and then the squad I mentioned was there, and I was like, I'm gonna meet that dude. I know I'm gonna meet that dude, Cameron. I didn't know that was your name, but like, I was like, I'm gonna meet that dude. And yeah, just kind of, I kept coming back after that, and then, so when the show ended, Human Experience became like my little family, because the leak didn't exist. Butterscotch had left. I'm an isolationist. I don't like being around people too much. I don't necessarily dislike people. I just would rather be alone like 99% of the time. So, you know, me going out, and I wasn't trying to make my own career pop like that. You know, like I wasn't trying to be known, you know. I was enjoying my anonymity. That's one thing that Las Vegas gave me. It gave me a chance to start over and not have to worry about, you know, not that I had a bunch of problems back in SAC. I love SAC, and I'm deeply loved in SAC. But, you know, like anywhere else you grow up, you know, you got all the people you went to school with, or the people that you know from the scene, or whatever that you worked with. And it was just kind of cool to just like not have any of that for the first time in my life. And so, but you do need community, and I found that, and it was great. And that I'm kind of jumping back and forth, because this is kind of going on as I'm at the, you know, the hosting gig on the Strip. But then that ends, and so I have a reason to keep going, because like all the people in the shows I was in moved away. Everyone moved away. You know, they're all from different countries. Their visas were up or whatever, and the other guys are like amazing musicians that travel the world. They got much bigger careers than me, so I was just kind of left back with more money than I had ever made and like no friends, which was like a weird paradox for me, because it's like, yeah, leave me alone. But then it was like, damn, I really don't know anyone out here, and I only knew so many people. And seeing Ramon Phillip, you know, excellent friend of mine, and plays the viola, and I really liked his style. I like how he's just, you know, he just has like this demonic enjoyment of what he's doing. That's one thing that stood out to me when I first saw him. I was like, that dude's really into it. And I respect like singers. I say like singers who aren't afraid to get ugly. Like, it's one thing to like hit your nose, it's another thing to, you know, contort and do all that. You don't have to do the theatrics if you don't want to, but when people hit those ugly faces, it lets me know that you let the music take you. And I saw that in his performance. I didn't know that was possible. And so I'm not saying you have an ugly face, Ramon. I'm saying that you have reckless abandon, and that's what I appreciated. So anyway, I'd say, you know, what kept me here in Las Vegas after all of that is the League. Ramon introduced me to Sean Carbone, whose idea was to start the League, and we met at UNLV, and you know, it's been history since then. It was his idea to start the band. I was on my way out. It was his idea, and I will always give him credit for that. So I guess when it's all said and done, Sean Carbone kept me in Vegas. That song was a game changer. That song, the reactions that we've gotten to that are just some of the most beautiful things ever. People have come up crying. We've gotten so many hugs. And to see thousands of people now at this point, to say those words, and like I've said at the end of every show, you know, I don't care if you remember who we are or where we were. I just want you to remember this phrase, you know, I am love, I am peace, I am joy. And based on the concept that, of course you don't always feel like that, that's why it's a mantra to bring you back, but it's your essence. It feels like home. We've gone so many places. We've been in America, we've been coast to coast. We played New York, Seattle, haven't played really down south as much, but you know, all through the Midwest and all over the West Coast, the majority of this country and I'd say a large part of this country we've played. Everywhere we go, people almost feel like they heard it, you know, like it's like, yeah, that. It's, there's so many different ways. Let me go off on this one, because this is a little different. Few different things. The concept of I am, just that phrase, is a whole thing. I mean, there's like books about it. There's books and lectures. You could go on forever, just the phrase I am, and it has deep spiritual, religious, philosophical undertones. I am we got away with damn near a gospel song on that song, basically. Basically, we take people to church on that song. And it feels like church when we do it. The band is not religious, but that's our church when we do that. And there's actually a choir on it, you know. When we remade the song, we got Cameron Calloway, we got so many great singers on there. And it's just, of course, got to give a shout out to Kiara Brown, our Levia. The gentleman's name is Gabe. There was a few people that made that song so much greater. But there's a documentary called I Am that I saw. Butterscotch actually told me to watch that. That's an excellent film about this like Hollywood producer guy who did who did really big movies in the 90s with Jim Carrey, like Dumb and Dumber, I think Liar Liar, I think one or both of the Ace Venturas, and he just made so much money, and then like he just saw through all the Hollywood stuff, and he just kind of gave all that up, and I think he didn't give up his craft, but he gave up the Hollywood lifestyle and just stripped down. And then he just went, in this documentary, he just kind of goes around and interviews a bunch of people about the meaning of life, essentially, and kind of, I think he had a health scare and that kind of like, you know. So that documentary, I never really get a chance to give that credit. That's one thing. I'm deep into esoteric. I know this word scares some people, but occult information. And that phrase, I am, is huge. Whether you're religious or not, that phrase, because you could even say that each of those words is an energy. So I and am, just like in this world we have masculine and feminine energy. And so, you know, it's like I is the masculine and am is the feminine. Like am is ma, you know. So if you switch it around, it's like, so if you put it, it's that yin and yang, it's this source of creation. And for religious people, I didn't know this when we made the song, but later I found out some people have even said that I am is another name for Jesus. I'm not Christian, I'm just saying I saw it, you know. But the I am, I mean, it's about forming, you know, it's that. And when you take forming and creation, that's a power. I think that's why people get so excited about birth, you know. There's a lot of reasons why you would, but it's like the ultimate, you know, creation that, you know, there's definitely physical structures that are like crazy to make, and one could argue, but I'm saying naturally, just straight up from what you are could be to create another human being is like insane. So I think it's that creative energy, and that's empowering. And so you give birth to the reality that you're going to experience. So it's based on the constant, if you listen to like the lyrics, I'm talking about, you know, children dying of cancer and other things like that. I'm talking about things that aren't necessarily great and happy, you know, like I talk about, what I'm acknowledging is that this life is so challenging and rough and confusing and painful, you know, but still, you gotta come back to the source. No matter what you think the source is, you know it when you feel it. So I am, and you have to take power no matter if you're at your lowest point or your highest point. And it's really important, you know, when you're at a lower point, to come back to I am love, I am peace, I am joy. You're gonna solve more issues in your life with that, and it's like a bit of protective armor. It doesn't mean that things aren't gonna continue to happen to you. You won't have drama in your life, but you can, it's like your compass. And so I do have to say, I will say this. That song was inspired by the Life is Beautiful festival. That song was originally going to be called Life is Beautiful, and we knew we were going to play that year. And so my goal was to make a song that was that would be fitting for that festival. And so if you've ever been to Life is Beautiful, all the years I went, it just felt free and happy, and people hugging, and just, it felt like one big family, even though there was like 100,000 people or something. And I wanted to embody that. So honestly, that was like the inspiration. And it was, I wrote, before they made the music, I wrote to Superstar, a Flowetry song featuring Common. That's what I wrote to. And then I gave them, I rapped it for them, and then they formed the lyrics around, the music around the lyrics. But I could go on about I am. It's a true gift. I'm very thankful for it.
Joy, love, peace, and unity. A cloud showered over my head, but I'm musically inclined to find a bit of beauty in the static. Separate waves, I don't fit with the magic. Had a bad habit of dwelling on what the others did. Then I learned to focus on my own, my zone is off the grid. That's where you find me combine the lines. My mind is like a shrine to dedicate myself to the purpose of the divine. At times forget to click off track. When you bring it back, allowing everything to come full circle, the simple fact. You can't hold down a spirit with the intent to rise on every moment, so when it's over, don't be surprised. Life will continue, we enterprise. It'll rental is what we were given on a physical realm. Eventually we're meant to leave it. What we did and learn will be repeated. Cycles never ended, so it cannot be repeated. I am love, I am peace, I am joy that can never be destroyed. I am love, I am peace, I am joy. We came here to fill the void. I am love, I am peace, I am joy that can never be destroyed. I am love, I am peace, peace. Once upon a time, I thought I should cut my story short. Then I learned to turn the page and stop being a bad sport. What the coach told me, invisible bills of voting. Brand new and better vision, I'm prepared to make decisions. Shift everything overnight. If I'm making oversight, take it as a lesson. I'm steady progressing towards the light. What am I put here for? I am the question and the answer. Talk about practice, yours and dying cancer. Nobody said it was fair, despair is in the air. I'm grabbing at happiness and finding a way to share. Healing vibes with the tribe, using music is medicine. Universal like Tesla, so we jettison the Edisons. Alternative to the curve and inertia, reversing the worst occurrences, giving a better version of ourselves. Health is mainly psychosomatic. You're emotional, tired, the changes are dramatic. I am love, I am peace, I am joy that can never be destroyed. I am love, I am peace, I am joy. Came here to fill the void. I am love, I am peace, I am joy that can never be destroyed. I am love, I am peace. Compassion for things I don't understand. Everybody learns at their own pace, so make a plan to take a stand. If they demand too much, to set a boundary. Won't allow anybody to hinder what empowers me. All I wanna do is balance out the negativity. Love is the original energy we were meant to be. Peace what I see when I embrace you as my family. Joy is what I want you to feel whenever they mention me. Some of us are falling apart, but hold it together. The moment you get up the blessing, don't you ever forget it. Forever indebted. Anybody that ever met us, ever up, give a heart notice that they love is connected. Don't know what's next, but I'm happy to be here. Living in times of peace, you must remember to defeat fear. Living the constant where we open. Don't nobody control the breath, so let it go. I am love, I am peace, I am joy that can never be destroyed. I am love, I am peace, I am joy. Came here to be the void. I am love, I am peace, I am joy that can never be destroyed. I am love, I am peace. I am love, I am peace, I am joy that can never be destroyed. I am love, I am peace, I am joy. Came here to feel the void. I am love, I am peace, I am joy that can never be destroyed. I am love, I am peace.
Money or building weapons, and H-bombs is coming to your hood in big digits, so they structuralize your train of thought. College kids, remember our main objective. Question every lesson, shit. Call me at the crib and question the shit I'm pressing on wax. You'll find facts, not faith. What I heard, cause that I just assume bullshit is for the birds.
Anytime, any place, many ways you can get it.
What?
Native Gun said it. Anytime, any day, any way you can get it. Blue Scholar said it.
Anytime, any place, many ways you can get it.
Native Gun said it. Anytime, any day, any way you can get it. Blue Scholar said it. The poor seek food, the rich seek an appetite. So when a rabbit's like you looking straight at the light, at the end of the tunnel you see we been dead.